Hi guys, Ellen Mary meets her base, MicheleMarieDalene. Today I'm going to show you how to put the ears on. And we're going to talk about these ears a bit because I want to discuss the ears and the history of the ears and some guidelines for caring for the ears. Because they are latex, they are made out of a natural material that will degrade and come apart if you're careless. Even though these are new ears, they have already starting to show signs of degrade. Um, because they're not as bad as the originals, but they're going to start to degrade. If you are going to wear a lot of prosthetics or latex decorations, you may want to have a couple sets of these. Um, the ones I buy, they're not that expensive. So let me show you um, a couple styles these years. This is more for those people who are interested in doing cosplay or whatever. These are the same ears. These here, you can see how much these have deteriorated. Okay, they will deteriorate. So don't expect your $17 pair of ears are going to last forever. They won't. Alright, so keep in mind, you will be replacing ears as needed. You can see that originally these were painted these to match my skin tone. The problem is, as latex ages, it turns yellow. So you're going to get that. So if you're expecting that your ears are going to always look crisp and new, they're not. If you want that, you got to go with silicone. But I have never seen these in silicone, even though I have been looking very hard. The next thing we're going to talk to about is adhesive, because this is going to be the next important things. These ears are not going to stay on. This is my left ear. Are not going to stay on your ear very well without glue. Now, we've talked about this on my show a lot. Is what happens when the glue starts to. These are I clean these say with the cleaner, and it didn't do much except made the glue even more feisty and sticky. Okay, we're gonna take advantage of that. Okay, um, so that's what we're gonna do. There's different styles of ears. I mentioned this on my show up. I happen to be grabbing all the same ears, so but these don't need glue as much. These will hook onto your ear like a pair of earbuds. Okay, this is the other ear, but goes on. This you can get around without glue if you need to for quick impromptu things where you're not going to be sticking it on for long. This will do the job fine without glue. If you're looking for ears that are going to stay on your head really well, you can use the same adhesive on these. This brand of ear is made by a company called Woochie. That's WOOCHIE. These are more appropriate for a wood elf. If you play Elder Scrolls Online, you know about the wood elves, the Bosmer. This is more of a Bosmer type ear. So, if you're looking for an ESO ear for your Bosmer character, here's the ear for you. These ears, as I said, you can wear these without glue. They will stay. Since I wear with headphones, it usually is not a big deal. But today we're going to talk about how to put on the ears we do use. You're going to need a couple basic things. Obviously, the glue. Now, these ears have been glued so many times. The ears themselves, the glue is still here. It's still feisty and tacky. So these don't need a glue. But your ears do. This is a contact adhesive. So this is not going to stick very well without applying it to the other surface. That's your earlobe, which mine can feel still have a little bit of glue there too, but not enough to really. So, unfortunately, it's going to stick your hair like crazy. So the next thing you're going to use elastic. if you have short hair, or if you don't give a damn about the glue in your ears, or in your hair, I guess it doesn't matter, but I kind of do. So we're gonna try to pull as much of her hair back as we can. This is not necessarily to be pretty. This is just to keep the hair out of my head from getting full glue. Okay? So this has nothing to do with fashion. This has to do with just basically keeping the hair up. Okay, so you're gonna do that. All right, it's not good, at least a good portion of the hair. So don't worry about the elastics. Ponytail being perfect. If you're gonna wear around a perfect ponytail, that's fine. Now, I already said these are pretty sticky. I don't have to re-glue these. But I do have to do with the earlobe. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna shake. I'm using Pro's Aid. I have no experience with the spirit gum. Spirit gum does not require two-surface application. Okay. So we're gonna just agitate this, and you're going to then take the cap off. Okay. Take a Q-tip, and good old standard Q-tip. Okay. It's okay if you get a little bit excess on there. Just make sure not to try to get your hair. And you're going to take this and put it around the earlobe like this. And it's probably wondering what the hell I'm doing. Oh, okay, so you're gonna just try to coat it really well. Now the idea is to let it dry when it gets tacky. Okay, and we can do the same with the other ear. So same thing. Gonna take. If you do get your hair underneath, it's just an annoyance, but it's not gonna destroy your life. Don't worry about it. It's not permanent. Neither is life for that matter. But all right, so you're gonna just try to. Obviously, don't get the ear stuck inside your ear. Your eardrum is that would suck. All right, really, that would really suck. You don't want to do that. You don't need to. This applies for any kind of prosthetic, even facial makeups. Okay, this stuff sets really quick, so you don't have to. It's not. No, this is the way I do it. This doesn't apply to you. May not work for you. Now, make sure you know which is your right and left ear, because this stuff is gonna be sticky with glue. You're gonna want to make sure to get this right the first time. This is the left ear. Okay, I'll do the right ear first for the show, so you guys can see what it does. Carefully hold the ear like this, so you can see it. Place the best you can. You may not get it perfectly. Gonna stick. Remember, this is latex. It will rip. So if you get careless, it's gonna rip. Okay. And don't worry about if you get your hair tucked underneath it. It will happen. Okay. Okay. Now, that's. I got hair underneath it, so just gently pull the hair out from underneath. Pull the opposite direction of the latex. Don't pull upwards if you're putting on the ear. Otherwise, you're gonna rip the ear, and that would suck. Okay. So you. Alright, now I'm busy doing a video ad. Oh. Alright, so this ear is on. Now, the next problem that you're going to run into is the issue what I call getting the ears lined up. Because the fact is, if you're wearing a single prosthetic or something, getting a line up with it wouldn't be such a problem. With these ears, okay. Okay. So that takes care of that ear. Okay. No, it's not perfect because it's a little bit sideways. Oh, yes. Be careful not to rip your prosthesis. Or your real ear for that matter. Okay. They are rubber. They will rip. Okay. They're not perfect. Okay. Alright, so that's it. Their ear is on. It's just try to see if it lines up. It's I'll give it the meh appealing. I think it's kind of on. It looks okay. Alright, so now feel to see if it feels consistently because they are made out of symmetrical mold. So theoretically, as long as this ear is lines up with so much of the other ear is going to line up, you're going to be fine. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see this process. Okay, this is the one that has a little tear in it. So if you're going to wear a lot of these ears, you're going to want to buy a lot of ears from your seller. And Cosplay FX in the Ukraine is where I got these from Etsy. Okay, so again, you're gonna have hair. Ow! Underneath. Try not to rip your hairs out. Yeah, right. That's gonna be really easy. It's not. This is a time-consuming process. The first few, as more you wear these ears, the more experience you get putting them on and off. Okay, so you're gonna. You might actually want to consider buying like a whole shitload of these ears. Okay, now okay, that's it. They're on. As for the right now, ouch! This is why I hate the glue because this glue is sticking. I hate it. Oh well, you cannot do much about that. Just gently, just use your fingers and try to work separate the hair. You might actually need to do it when your hair is wet. I actually washed my hair this morning. It's just that it's because I'm doing housework at the same time. I didn't have time to put the ears back on. I just basically was in a rush to get the housework done. Alright, so now you can take the elastic off. Ugh. Okay, that takes care of that. Now, just. Oh, yes. Now, let me talk about one thing. Because these are latex ears, they will rip, as I said. And if you have some kind of material you can put inside to provide rigidity, and if you're going to be using these things in water, it has to be something that can take getting wet. A thin piece of plastic for synthetic cartilage will do fine. Okay? Okay. Just. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Okay. As far as how can you tell if your ears are on straight? It's not necessarily easy, but you can kind of see if they're on straight. So that's basically it. The only thing is, let's talk about the realities about the ears, because I want to bring up some issues that you're going to run into with these ears. Number one, they are very much a natural fiber material. They will degrade, they will come apart, they will rot. Okay, that's just the nature of the job. They also are very, very fussy to put on and get on to stay well. So if you're really like worried, also if you got bad eyesight like I do, getting these ears on and to actually get them to stay straight is kind of a pain. But you can kind of see if your ears are kind of crooked. If they are, you can a little bit, because this is not like crazy glue. You can actually gently lift the ear up a bit. Remember, it's the shape of the ear that keeps them straight up. So if the ear is not held in place right, it's gonna look crooked. Okay, so the first thing. Second of all, if you can get about 2 to 3 weeks out of a set of ears, congrats. If you can't, that's okay. Because after a while, your ears are going to start to get kind of beat up and they're going to start to look like garbage. And you're going to end up having to replace them. So, clearly, some of the better ears are more durable. These are $16 ears. You can see what the damage here is. The material has degraded and is torn right here on this ear. Now, if you can get silicone ears, they do make them, but they're going to cost you. These are not silicone. If you are latex sensitive, go for silicone if you can find them. If you can't, you're going to have to experiment to see if you can wear the latex ears. If you can, again, that's great. If you can't, then you're going to have to come up with another solution. If you want to do cosplay with these ears, if you're or what they call live role playing game, or LRPG, okay, or LRPG. If you're gonna do that, or if you're doing cosplay, you're gonna need to come up with an alternative if you are allergic to latex. If you're not allergic to latex, bully for you. I'm one of them. So I can use latex all day. It doesn't matter. I sleep with these ears on, so I know what I'm talking about. Okay. My biggest problem is I'm a fussy person, and if the ears are not straight, I tend to get a little bit sensitive about it. But because the ears are sensitive and they will rip if you're careless, you don't expect that you're going to get them straight on, because you're not. Okay? So how do you know if the ears are on straight? Well, I suppose one way is to actually use a protractor or some kind of a device that can measure angles, if you're really worried about precision. Oh, but most people are not going to go to that much work, okay? But again, like I said, you can, within care, pull the ear down okay. But I don't think it's it's not straight. So what you can do is you can pull this ear. What you can do is carefully take it off too. So gently, that's the key word here. Pull the ear off as I just did. Okay? Now, this glue you can reset without having to reapply. All you do is the same thing. You're going to try to get your real hair out of the ear if you can, okay? Ahead of time. Take the ear, again, you want to use your real finger. I know it sounds stupid to say that, right? Well, when I have fake fingers. Well, maybe I have fake fingers because maybe I'm trying to, for cosplay, maybe I'm trying to simulate something like a troll or something, and I'm wearing similar ears to this for Trolls and World of Warcraft. I would probably use. Make sure to try to put this on beforehand. Now, again, look to see if the ear looks close to center. It looks pretty good, right? And you're not going to get it much better than that. Just don't. Now, since I wear these with my headphones on in the studio, you don't really have to worry about that because the ears. Okay. The main thing is, yeah. Can you see if they're center? Oh, this feels definitely straight, more perky. This one seems like it's a little droopy. Take, like I told you about, how the important thing is sometimes is to try to get the two ears to line up. That's just the hardest part to do because, okay, because these ears you can kind of tell if you actually gently take the two ears, grab them from the top, and pinch them together in the skull. And they're not quite center, but it's not too bad, but it's not great. Okay. Another thing is hair. Your hair is, if it gets behind the ear, it's going to cause the ear to sag. So gently. Oh yeah, don't forget you get hair underneath the ear too. But careful when you pull the hair out from underneath the ear, because it's going to rip it if you get careless. Okay. I can see that this ear is not quite center. I want to pull a little further up. So I'm going to try. I have to go through this every day and put these ears on. I try not to have to take them off too much because this is the reason. It's such a pain. Alright, so you're going to... Okay. That's better. I'm going to tell? Well, because I can feel it. Alright, this is, of course, this is a little more perky than this one. This is, when I say perky, I mean it's more straight up. Okay. I'll just gently put your hair around the ear so that it looks better when you do that. Okay. So just take your fingers as a guide. This ear is more perky. When I say perky, it means it's straightening up straight. This ear is a little droopy. Kind of like the character from Tom and Jerry. I'm droopy. Well, that's better. So should you wear prosthetic ears for any reason? Honestly, guys, it depends on the person. I'm going to tell you this. In my personal opinion, with wearing these ears, setup's a pain to do. It's time consuming. If you do it right, it looks really good, but it can go really wrong really fast. And remember too that this is latex. If you're sensitive to latex materials, you're not going to want to wear latex because they're going to cause irritation. If you're not sensitive to latex, that's fine. If you can get the real silicone version of these ears, they're more expensive. Some people have had much better luck with the silicone ears. This adhesive Prosade is really ideally suitable for silicone ears, not latex. But you can use them in latex, but just be aware that this stuff will be a real pain to get off. So don't expect you're going to get this Prosade off, even when the manufacturer adhesive. It does not come off these ears very well. I tried it with these ears today with no luck at all. I actually found out what the adhesive did was cleaner did was reactivate the glue, which means I didn't even have to put any more glue on the ears at all. Also, what else will reactivate the glue? If you want to reactivate the glue. If you haven't worn your ears for a while and the glue is dried off and you want to reactivate it, try rubbing alcohol. I'm not kidding you. Rubbing alcohol will turn this stuff right back on again. You can actually, so this is all dried up and it's all gunked up on your prosthetic or whatever. Just use like 70% or 90% isopropanol and just swap it over the glue, and all of a sudden the glue will become right back to life again. And then you can just stick them right back on your ear again. So honestly, you're not going to be using a lot of this adhesive, but at least if you do, it's going to look good and it's going to be strong. Is there anything I need to know about this glue in advance? First of all, it's very expensive. It's not, I mean, it's really not that expensive. But if you're looking for something that's going to be cheap, this glue, so I'm just trying to touch this here up a little bit. This glue, which is FDA approved for medical applications, is going to be what you want. It is FDA approved for use for medical prosthesis. So yes, it's just good stuff, but it's also just, I don't know how to describe it. Just as one person demonstrated, she took a prosthetic wooden gem and glued it to her belly button. The glue is very strong. You can swim with these, with that glue. You can swim with these ears. Okay. The only thing is to get them off, to get the ears off without damaging them is a bit of a challenge. Clearly, you want to peel it from the back here. You can see where the ear is, this little bit. Peel it from the back, and then gently peel it from here, and just carefully work them off. Don't try to rip them off by pulling them straight off your head. It's not going to happen. You're going to ruin the ears, and then you're going to be buying replacements faster than you can say, "Hello, MasterCard." Okay, don't do that. Just do what I said. You guys just gently work the ears off if you need to. If you're washing your hair or you're taking a bath and you have your ears on and you want to wash your hair, be careful with the ears. Okay, same thing. They're not your real ears. There's not real cartilage. There's not real skin. It's not going to stand up to a lot of tugging and thrashing around. If you want to get real ears, that's a completely different kettle of fish completely. But just to tell you, one guy in Argentina spent over $60,000 for a set. So, yes, you can get your real prosthetic ears, real plastic surgeon ears, but you're going to be paying out the wazoo for them. For the little ears, similar to the Bosmer ears, well, maybe not quite this big, but the tip your ears is about $2,500. Not this big, but they're about $25 or $2,500 to $6,000 to do just putting a slight tip on your real ears if you choose to go that option. If you want to get ears this size, these in the real ear version probably cost you about $6,000. Okay, maybe more, because they're not as much cartilage to make the real ear. By the way, how much did these Wuchis cost? These are better quality prosthetic. These I paid about $40 for these. These are much better material. They're much tougher. They're much stronger. The latex is a lot thicker. Okay? So in that case, this is a perfect example. What you get what you pay for. So this is an ear that's got a good skin color. It doesn't quite match my skin very well, but it's pretty close. I had, again, like the other ears, I have gone swimming with these. I have taken baths with these ears, and they do hold fine. So that's advice for that. There's another type. In fact, I did a review on the Blizzard ears from Blizzard Entertainment, the officially ears from Blizzard Entertainment. hideous. These are hideous. They're hideous because of the fact that they're just designed to be cute for. These are really more like night elf ears, not blood elf ears. Okay. However, as I've seen so many illustrations of some of the blood elves, especially the children, these would be more appropriate if you're trying to emulate a blood elf child, because the ear is sounds like there's some feel like there's something in here. Yeah, there is. I see that. Okay. Yeah, there's something in here. I think something came in my ear. But anyway, the point is that the only thing I personally recommend is if you really need to do something with these ears from Blizzard, the mold work is terrible. The quality is terrible. You can't hear crap because of the ear hole. It's just this tiny hole. It does not take advantage of the ability to actually do what the real ear would be designed to do, which is to help funnel your sound towards your real eardrums. These, and they look like crap too. They're ugly. They're just terribly made. Bin them. They're just garbage. Okay, don't even use them. They're just garbage. I suppose for Halloween, maybe for a costume showing it, as a disfigured gnome or troll or something, they might work fine. But the elastic band is terrible for your blonde hair. Everybody will see it. It's not. Maybe for Halloween they'll be fine, but don't wear them. If you're trying to be convincing, I wear these in public. I wear them every day. So these for me is yeah. It's important to have ears that are comfortable or durable, are going to survive every day walking around Winstead doing everyday chores. These ears do fine. But these are natural materials. These will biodegrade. And you can see right now that this ear is definitely perked up right now. I don't know why, but it is. Okay. Shoot you by the ears I bought from Cosplay FX. Well, it depends. I mean, you can get more expensive ones from Aerodani Studios. They're just as nice, but they're made in Tennessee and they're made from a local company, meaning within the United States. They are decent for what you're paying for. The latex is heavier, and they look good. But if you're, again, the latex, they're not silicone. So if you want silicone, you may have to order custom ears. Okay, because I have looked for blood elf ears in silicone. I haven't found any. But they do make them, other elf ears in silicone. So if you, for example, are trying to go, for example, for the next BlizzCon or whatever, and you want to have a certain look, you can definitely find alternatives to the ears I'm using from other providers cheaper. Okay. If you use these ears every day, you're going to want to have spares. So whoever your seller is, make sure that they're not one of those in business for a short time and then just disappears. If they are, you're going to want to go ahead and it's always a good idea to have 2 or 3 pairs of ears on hand at all times. Like I said, they do rip, they do fall apart from several weeks of wearing these. I already can see some slight damage on the ears. They're not that bad, but they will degrade. So you are going to need to have spares. If you can afford it, especially since it takes about 4 to 6 weeks to get them from Cosplay FX in Ukraine, buy 4 pairs, buy 10 pairs if you can afford it. $160, but for 10 pairs. But maybe the seller might go, hey, you know what? I'll give you a discount. Look into it. If you can reach out to the seller, especially if he's the one who's making them custom for you, whoever you buy them from, ask them for a little more heavier, if they can make the latex a little heavier. The night elf ears and the blood elf ears, which these are the blood elf length, are going to need a lot more thicker latex because of the height. If they not, they're gonna sag. Okay, they may not be so bad in some cases, but imagine, if you will, you happen to have a character. It has bigger ears than a blood elf. I can't think of any, but let's say you do. Let's say you play a troll. Trolls have ears like these too. Their ears are gonna like banana peels. Just accept my word for it. Can you do anything with the blizzard ears if you're in a hurry? Sure. However, don't expect it to look great. And those are expensive. I paid $40 for those ears from Blizzard, and they were terrible. I was totally unimpressed with the ears. First of all, they're glossy. They're shiny. Sorry, guys. Your real ears do not have a gloss or sheen to them. Okay? That's the first thing to keep in mind. Second thing is the mold was disgustingly terrible. They made a horrible job on the ears. They looked like terrible. Just terrible design, terrible quality, all the way across. And like I said, it's almost like a Halloween mask kind of thing for Halloween. Maybe for Halloween you might be fine, but if you're going to be wearing it for where you want to be realistic looking, you don't want to wear them. All right? Point fact. How do people react to the ears when they see them? Depending on the person I've talked to, a majority of the people find them very impressive. They think they're very cute. When my medical doctor, showed me the ears, he said they look really sharp. So yes, people do have mixed feelings about the ears. The wait staff with the restaurant with me and Ed went to, Noli's, they weren't sure what to make of it. But they weren't going to judge me and say anything bad because, hey, I was the one who had the checkbook and I was the one who was paying for the dinner, and of course that would have been kind of sucky for them if they started shooting their mouth off, realizing that they probably would never see me in that again. If they did, they didn't. But Ed was getting a little self-conscious about it. I was like, well, why are you getting self-conscious? Because they look at you weird. I said, don't worry about looking at me weird. That's okay. That's expected. They're not used to having a person with ears like these size hanging, eating dinner at a restaurant. It's not a very common thing. Just as Americans, for a long time, never even got used to seeing people wearing COVID-19 masks, and nowadays we see them every day. And so eventually, it became almost expected you're gonna have COVID-19 masks. Let's see. Let me pick up my Q-tips. Oh yes. Make sure to keep Q-tips on hand. I know it sounds stupid, but you'd be surprised how many times people don't have Q-tips on hand. Q-tips are invaluable little tools for everything from cosplay to applying to maybe doing a little bit of rough cleaning. For example, even though it's not really an ear thing, I use Q-tips to clean my trackball and places where the grunge is getting built up in the trackball mechanism, and I was able to clean it out. You're gonna need that. Another tool is, no surprisingly, paper towels. You're gonna need that because sometimes you have to get the glue off and whatever. And there's like glue spilling the surfaces. So that's where this paper towel comes in handy, so you can rub it. Don't put the ears on. Don't worry about if you are doing anything like these ears. Don't do the glue, the installing of the ears on anything where you don't mind possibly glue getting onto. The glue is almost impossible to get off. I mean, to get an idea what the glue is like, take duct tape, for example. This is really what this glue is like. This stuff is like this Nashua duct tape. It's just that sticks that good as this duct tape does. Except duct tape is not necessarily used for medical prosthesis. So if you're going to use this glue, just be aware it sticks like duct tape and it's not going to come off very easily without a fight. So just keep that in mind. Okay, we're going to move over a little bit. So that's it. I just wanted to show you the ear application installation as best I could, and I will answer any questions you have. Now, one more thing which you didn't ask me: would I recommend buying ears from the same manufacturer that I bought mine from? Yes, I would, because the price is not that bad. It's like $16.90 a pair. Just be aware it takes 4 to 6 weeks to get to me here in the United States. So you may want to buy 4 pairs, and be ready to throw them out every 2 or 3 pairs, because you're not going to be able to get more than 2 or 3 weeks out of each set of ears, because they do rip, they do tear, they are natural material. They're made out of latex, they will rip. So you will have to replace them as needed. So make sure to be aware of that the ears are not in forever. Don't think that your $16.90 set of ears are going to last you for months. They don't. All right, so you will be replacing them a lot. Okay, so you buy 4 pairs and figure about 2 weeks a set of ears. So you're gonna get maybe about 8 weeks out of the ears. So that means that by the time if you order 4 pairs and you already have 4 pairs, that means that by the time the new ears come in, you're gonna probably be on your last set of your old ears. So then you can go ahead and just swap out. As far as the glue I use, the Prozaid, do I recommend it? Yes, I do, because it is water. It is FDA approved. It is theoretically is a water-based adhesive. I don't think it's water-based at all. I think it's more alcohol-based. But even though it doesn't smell anything Spirit Gum does. But as I said, it is FDA approved. So yes, you can use that adhesive to do the job, and that's what you want to do when you have a good, strong bond with that adhesive and these brandy ears. You can go swimming in them. You can go to your local swimming pool. You sleep with them. I sleep with them every night. So I sleep with these ears, and I don't take them off before I go to bed. That's important for another reason. If you do, you're gonna shorten the life even more, because you're gonna be constantly pulling them off all the time. So make sure to remember, once you put them on, they're gonna stay on for at least the glue will hold, usually without too much of a fuss, for about a week. Now, if you take a lot of baths or wash your hair a lot, the glue may loosen up and come off. It's okay. Just freshen up as needed the glue, and then just gently put the ears back on. Or if you are already got the ears on and they're around 3/4 of the way, or the glue is just starting to come up a little bit, you can just gently get underneath with a Q-tip and reapply fresh adhesive, and then put it back together. I don't hold. It's not as strong that way, but it'll do if you're in a hurry to re-stick them on or adjust them accordingly. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching this impromptu video. I hope it gives you some ideas. Oh, for those of you who wanted to know, we are going to be having more music also in the United States. Tomorrow is Mother's Day. So, for Sunday, happy Mother's Day to all mothers everywhere. Now, I don't do a show on Sunday, so just so you know, Mother's Day. Hey, congratulations, okay? You got my trust, you got my favoritism. Oh, yeah, if you are worried about if your ears are a little square, like I said, just gently place the 2 ears against your head like that, and just hold the 2 tips and see if they line up. That's really all you can do. Okay? If you have someone else doing your ears for you, that might be easier, because then you can see it from a third. Or he or she can see if your ears are square and straight. But if you're doing it yourself, don't worry about it. Once you've done it enough times, it isn't too hard. I remember when I used to have contact lenses for my eyes, because my eyesight used to have prescription lenses. The first few times I put those contacts in, were terrifying, because they're clear and they're soft contact lens, and yeah, it used to just be a real mess. I was afraid you're gonna lose contact lens, because at the time my bedroom had carpet. So, fortunately enough, I don't have contact lenses anymore, but because my eyesight has changed enough where contact lenses are really not do me any good. But that's another topic altogether. But hey, that's the point of this video. Was to talk about the ears. What other places can you use this prosthetic glue? Any medical application where prosthesis is needed, the Pros Aid is designed to work with it. So if you need, maybe because of surgery or whatever, you need to put on a prosthesis. Maybe you had a nose job, maybe you had a nose injury, and you're wearing a prosthetic nose or something. They'll help you. Some people like to use something called liquid latex. I'm gonna just talk about that real quick from what I know about it. I don't never used it. Liquid latex in the application I'm using as adhesive is not gonna work. If you're using it as a blending to blend in with between the prosthesis and your skin, that's really what it's more like. It's like trying to so that you can't see a seam. All right. You can see where I could use it on this here. If I was to take the liquid latex and I could gently coat down here and then just feather it in to see where my real earlobe is, you probably would see where I could use this for that purpose. The problem is, it's kind of messy for one thing, and it's actually gonna add to the prosthesis, so it's gonna make it bigger. Okay. You can still take it off with using, different material, but it's just not something you're going to be doing on a regular basis. Okay. So I hope that this impromptu putting on the ears and discussing the ears to you will help you understand a little bit about the process and why it takes me so long to do. I definitely do recommend the use of a hair elastic to pull your real hair back. If you do get the glue on your real hair, don't panic, okay? It will come off, okay? But just be sure if you get hair underneath the ear, in this case, their ears, pull or gently pull the hair if it's because underneath, you don't want to pull the hair up like this because it's going to rip the prosthetic. If you want to just gently tug it downward so that the hair can work its way out and hopefully not rip the prosthesis if that's what you're going to do. And usually it's not a major deal. Don't worry about it. Okay, unless you got a lot of hairs underneath the ear and it looks kind of crappy. That's just me. If you get the glue in your hair, don't worry, it washes out. The Pros Aid will wash out of your hair just using regular shampoo and conditioner, and it will just come off. So it's no big deal for you. Don't feel like you have to invest in some fancy hair removal or glue removal stuff. You don't need to. How will these ears react when I go to the salon and get my hair redone and get it bleached? I don't know. I haven't done it yet. But I probably will be planning to go back to the salon in the future, and then you'll be able to see me with white hair in these ears. They'll probably be really, really quite bold reaction as far as how I survive in the hair salon when my hair is getting bleached. If I was wearing the ears, I can't tell you. I don't know how it would react to the hair bleach. They may not survive. Look, I've actually worn tops that were multiple colors and that basically got bleached. So don't expect it's going to be any differently with these ears. If painted versus unpainted, I wear painted, but they don't stay that way for long, okay? Because they just wear out. So you're might want to consider, like I said, if longevity is your thing, try to find silicone ears. If you can't find silicone, you can't find silicone. If you can, buy a couple sets of ears. Especially since the place I buy it from is in another country. We all know that Ukraine has problems. 4 weeks, 4 to 6 weeks for the ears is a long time. So you're definitely going to want to, if you're concerned, like you don't think the ears are too wimpy and they're not strong enough to stand up to kind of daily ritual, just try the cheap ears like I got. And then if they work for you, congrats. If they don't, if you think they're still too wimpy, you can try the more expensive ears. You're going to be experimenting with ears. Trust me, they're not everybody makes ears the same way. That's just the nature of the ears. All right, guys, that's enough of this. I will see you soon. So I'll probably see you tonight at 7 o'clock. Okay? Bye bye.